Hey, hey, folks. Leah here. Sunday at 3 Eastern Time. It's time for a little something. Or you might say a little some. I'm going to do a song today in honor of my friends and neighbors who are celebrating Rosh Hashanah, especially for my dear friend, Cantor Jason Kaufman at the Beth El Temple here in Alexandria, Virginia. And if you hear my neighbor mowing his lawn, and if you hear my children frolicking, that is the price we pay for being out in this glorious, glorious weather. I hope where you are is beautiful as well. And if it's not today, it will be again soon. I promise. The song is called Bashana Haba'a. That means next year. And I don't know about you, but I'm definitely ready for the winds of this year to chill out and become something easier. Something easier. O tire, kama tov yihye. Bashana haba'a. Soon the day will arrive when we will be together, and no longer will we live in fear. And the children will smile without wondering whether on that day thunderclouds will appear. Wait and see what a world there can be if we care, if we share, you and me. Wait and see what a world there can be if we care, if we share, you and me. All right, now that refrain is easy, so the next time it comes around, I want you singing with me. Some have dreamed, some have died to make a bright tomorrow, and their vision remains in our hearts. Now the torch must be passed with new hope, not in sorrow, and a promise to make a new start. Wait and see what a world there can be if we care, if we share, you and me. Wait and see what a world there can be if we care, if we share, you and me. O tire, kama tov yihye. Bashana haba'a. Wait and see what a world there will be when we care, when we share, you and me. Shana Tova, I believe is the correct way to pronounce it. Beautiful, happy, high holidays to all who are celebrating. And it is my grand pleasure to introduce to you all a relatively new friend of mine and a friend of yours, a beautiful soul, the mighty Abby Madden. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to work on my sound effects. Here she comes. Here she is. Hey.
Hello. Thank you,
How's
Leah.
it?
Oh,
Welcome, Abby.
I was just going to say, it feels so good after hearing that song. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm glad. The first time I heard that song, it felt like just so scrumptious. You know, it felt like something I had known forever, and that the knowing of it now just made me fuller. And so I've been singing it and sharing it. And thank you, Rachel, for your kind words. So I'm glad that you're here with us today. And Abby Madden, my friend.
Hello.
You and I met, was it a full year ago?
I think it may have been a little less. I can't remember if it was last fall this time or in the winter. But yeah, it's not been very long, Leah.
Not that long. It was before things got weird.
Yes, definitely.
As I recall that you had relatively recently moved to this area, and as a music worship professional, or just reaching out to see who else was out there doing the thing.
Yeah, I work as the minister of music at Arlington Presbyterian Church, and I have a really great job, and a really cool part of my job is community organizing with local musicians. And I met you because I reached out to another church and I said, "Hey, I'm looking for musicians," and you played a concert at their place, and they were like, "You need to connect with Leah," and here we are.
I just loved that it was totally cold. It was out of the blue, and you were just so open right from the start. I had this feeling like, you just like an instant connection. You were just so easy to
Mm,
be around, and you have this
okay.
warm presence I really appreciate about you. And
Thank
I'm
you.
I'm glad for the things we've gotten to do together in the real world, which was, I guess,
Hmm.
coffee, and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
garden concert. Would you like to talk a little bit about that? I'm going to splash up a link so people can find it, but tell us what
Yeah.
this is.
So, in midst of COVID, we at Arlington Pres were trying to find ways to support our local musicians, support our neighbors. Arlington Presbyterian Church, a great story, they recently knocked down their building and partnered with Arlington Partnership for Affordable Housing. And they sold their land, and APA built 173 unit affordable housing complex on the land where the church once dwelled. And Arlington Pres now rents space off of their bottom floor. So we live in community with the residents above us, and we partner with APA regularly. And so, in the midst of COVID, one of the ways that we wanted to support our neighbors is to help bring awareness to an emergency fund for residents. And I wanted to also find a way to keep our musicians connected and supported, and also just continuing to build community and build equity through art. Even when we're not together, just finding ways to stay connected. And so instead of doing a garden concert live, because it's not safe right now, I reached out to a bunch of musicians, and Leah is one of them. And they met me, at a safe distance with masks, and in our garden over at Gilliam Place, which is the building, the affordable housing that Arlington Pres is home is at. And we recorded in the garden, and just created some really beautiful moments outside in that space. And I compiled them together, and we created this garden concert. So the link there is at the bottom if you're interested in tuning in. There's amazing musicians. We have Leah, we have Christian Perez, George Waltemeyer, Sinai Cordera, and Jordan, and they are string players. And then Carly Harvey is the DC Queen of Blues.
Nice.
And then a really great little performance from my friend Alex, who's one of the residents at Gilliam Place that I've gotten to know. So yeah, it's been a weird way of
Yeah.
creating music together, but beautiful at the same time, for
But it
sure.
shows our intrepid spirit, doesn't? It
Mm-hmm.
shows that these things are happening, and it's just where you think there's a barrier. In fact, there's an opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
and I really appreciate you having the wherewithal, showing up with your intrepid spirit and your tech savvy, and making this happen for your community. So,
Thanks.
I want to make sure that everybody knows you're not just a community organizer, which is its own huge, beautiful thing, and not just a music, worship music director, but you're also a songwriter and a singer and a beautiful musician.
Thank
So
you.
I'd like to take a second and let everybody hear one of your pieces.
Great.
Oh, all right, here we go. And you can tell us a little bit more about it after we hear
Sure.
Benediction.
Learn to tell them, inform those you're proud of, support and build, pour into and fill, support and build, pour into and fill, and pray that through faith you would find the strength to be rooted and grounded in love. Love that's surpassing and is everlasting. May you be filled with the fullness from above. May you be filled with the fullness of love. Hold fast to the ones in need. Nourish the hungry. Stand beside the weak. Stitch and repair. Listen and care. Stitch and repair. Listen and care. And pray that through faith you would find the strength to be rooted and grounded in love. Love that's surpassing and is everlasting. May you be filled with the fullness from above. Through faith may you find the strength to be rooted and grounded in love. Love that's surpassing and is everlasting. May you be filled with the fullness from above. May you be filled with the fullness of love.
In lieu of applause, my neighbor is trimming his hedges. This is this is Murphy's law of
Love it.
sound. But I love that song
Thank
so
you.
much, Abby.
Thank you.
Rooted and grounded in love. That's everything,
Yeah,
isn't it?
absolutely. Yeah, I just, when I wrote that song, it was just a way of not only like a benediction is a blessing, right? Like a blessing that you give to the people you're with before you disperse. But I think I wrote it just as a reminder to myself to just root myself in love with what I'm doing. So, yeah, that's the goal.
When I think about that image, especially now we got the garden concert, the awareness of the garden concert ticking along beneath us. I
Hmm.
think about when our roots are in anything, whether it's love or something else you might choose, that nourishes everything else you do. It nourishes
Mm,
the stalk of your life, the foundation of it, the fruit that you're bearing, the beautiful,
hmm.
it's just a gorgeous image. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm just thinking about that too with the garden concert, and this song. It's actually really interesting, Leo, that we're using this song. I never really put two and two together with the garden concert and the song until you were saying this. But there's a verse in that song that talks about holding fast to those in need, and I just think of all of our neighbors right now that are struggling to make ends meet and might be without a job or just need assistance, and that's what that garden concert there for, right? Like, these are our neighbors. We're called by our faith or by our love to help our neighbors and to hold fast to them, right? And yeah, and that love, I just hope sprouts out from APC, from, it was very evident from our musicians, that we can just all hold each other when we need it right now, right?
Yeah, and I see that image, that metaphor of holding each other. Like initially, when you said hold fast, it kind of made me think in terms of sort of water images, right? Like
Mm,
someone maybe adrift, and us holding fast to them to help them
mm,
stay anchored. But then in this time right now, where touch and being able to hold each other is so precious, and
mhm,
it's limited to those who are closest to us, and many don't have access to it right now. So it's really rich imagery.
mm.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And I have to add that I was previewing your music just before we got set up this morning, and my sister came in and she decided that she would floss to your songs. I don't know how often you've had like adults get up and do that.
Oh, the dance. I thought you meant like literally flossing.
Oh no! I mean the floss. Maybe Jacob's standing right there. He'll come and show you what it means. But
Yeah.
the,
The
I heard bossa nova. Enjoy. My sister heard flossing music. In any case, it's a
Hey,
beautiful,
whatever I can
beautiful,
inspire, if it's a
right?
moment of joy, then I'm cool with
Right on. You know.
that.
And
That's
I want to
great.
extend our welcome. Thank you, Rachel, for chiming in. If you're with us right now, please definitely send a comment. Say, hey, let us know what you think of the music. Let us know what you think of my neighbor's hedge trimming. Tell us hello. And if you're watching in the future, your comments are welcome. Your little heart emojis and thumbs up are just a beautiful way for us to know that we're connected to each other and to you. Abby, I've got another song of yours lined up here. Would you like to tell us a little bit about you?
Sure. Few is a lullaby that I wrote. I have three nieces, and they are all under the age of 5. And when my first niece was being born, I wrote this lullaby, and I now dedicate it to all of my nieces. To be fair, in the spirit of fairness. But I just had this moment of kind of awe and inspiration that this little human, this little life was coming into the world. And I just couldn't wait to meet her and to share like all the beauty and exciting things that this life offers. So Few was written as a gift to my nieces.
I've seen the canyon that swallowed up the floor. It stopped my heart and caused a part inside of me to soar. I've seen the mountain that pierced the blue sky side, with gnarly trees and prickly leaves. It let the big blue dry. But there are few things that make my heart sing like it does when it thinks of you. And God sure got it right, 'cause out of all creation, it's you who caught my sight. I've seen the leaves change and tumble to the ground with twists and turns, the others learn to come back around. I've seen the flowers grow and blossom to full bloom, and I can't wait to help explain and share these things with you. 'Cause there are few things that make my heart sing like it does when it thinks of you. And God sure got it right. 'Cause out of all creation, it's you got my sight. You'll feel the joys in life, struggles you will know, but all the smiles and all the trials are things that help you grow. So when you feel the night of life and dark is hard to bear, don't you fret and don't forget, the sun is always there. And remember that there are few things that make my heart sing like it does when it thinks of you. And God sure got it right. 'Cause out of all creation, it's you on my side. There are things that make my heart sing like it does when it thinks of you. And God sure got it right. 'Cause out of all creation, it's you on my side.
Abby Madden. Really beautiful, really sweet.
Man, makes me, I mean, I just saw my nieces recently and it's so weird. They're all getting older. I don't know. I feel like I'm such a sappy, sentimental aunt.
As it should be.
Yeah.
And I want to thank Emma. Thank you for chiming in and thank you for letting us know that the sound is clear where you are. I appreciate that. Because, you know, with this tech stuff, we're all sort of juggling and making the best out of what we make the best of what's around.
Mm-hmm.
So, Abby, how do you do it? I know that you're serving your church, you're serving other churches, and you have another job. Can you tell me sort of the plates that you're balancing these days?
Sure. I work full-time for a nonprofit called ArtStream. And ArtStream is a theater and drama program for adults with intellectual disabilities, including autism. And we're completely virtual right now. Theaters are still closed. Our population is also rather at risk. So we are doing all of our shows, rehearsals, and classes on Zoom. And we have some amazing video editors who help us out with that, and amazing teaching artists who help us with all of that. I work part-time at Arlington Pres and connect with musicians locally. I teach. I have piano lessons online right now. That's a whole new world, but it's been fun, and you know, still keeping on and learning. There's always room to learn, even in the midst of all of this. So Yeah, and then just, trying to find time to enjoy the beauty around me, and just it's been a while since I've made some new music myself, but I'm hoping to take some time this fall and see what comes to mind and if the muse strikes or not.
Well, it's like you said, there's beauty all around us, and that's certainly often where my muse has been tra-la-laing.
Mhm.
So I know
Yeah,
your eyes are open to it.
yeah. I'll tell you one thing. The garden concert was a huge inspiration to me. I think just being able to surround one's self with other musicians and creative people and seeing all the things, and Leah, it's been a huge blessing just to be able to bounce ideas off of you, and we call and message every now and then and be like, hey, what do you think of this, or how do you do this in Premiere Pro, and that's been such an inspiration to me, just to see all the creative juices that are flowing, and the garden concert definitely did that. And not only, and in the spirit of this theme of growing and changing and rooting, one of the cool things from this garden concert has been the connections that I've seen made through some of the musicians who performed. Like, I know you and Christian knew each other. That's how I met Christian. And then my friend George, who played guitar, I introduced him to Christian. And then Carly got to meet Alex when she was recording. So there's these relationships and this network that's kind of growing out of all of it too. And things like this, your Lil Something with Leah, I am inspired weekly by the stuff that you put out. So I
Are
think
you also still doing your Tuesday
Tuesday
to
tunes.
Tuesday?
Yeah, I have doing Tuesday tunes over on our church's Facebook page. Just trying to provide space for music, and I have people taking over. We're taking a little break this month, just a hiatus, but we'll be back later, hopefully in October. Get some new voices. I've had some more connections and just some more tunes that are coming to mind. So yeah, there's a lot to be inspired by, for sure.
Absolutely true. And I just want to say again that I'm inspired by your openness, your curiosity and willingness to meet people when you came new into this area, and that one decision on your part to reach out and just say, hey, who's out there? Here's my energy. What's yours? Let's see what we can co-create. As just like you said, if you hadn't made that choice, then we wouldn't have had each other to bounce off of in this time.
Right.
So
Yeah.
many wonderful connections and opportunities to learn. So I thank you for being that open heart, that open mind who said, hey, here I am. Where are you? Like the birds go, woo-doo,
Yeah.
I'm over here. I'm over here.
What you doing?
I appreciate you, Abby.
Thank you, Leah. I
And
appreciate you too.
Thanks for taking this time. Abby and I are going to say peace out, as my kids would say, on a little song, a little bird. You know what's funny is I wasn't even thinking about this song when I said doo-doo, doo-doo, but it kind of, perfect segue. I'll talk to you soon, Abby.
Thanks, Leah.
Everybody take care, y'all. Do, 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 do. Boom. On to los kids. Don't worry. No. 'Cause every little thing gonna be alright. There you don't worry about a thing. No. 'Cause every little thing gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds, each by my doorstep, singing a sweet song. A melody's pure and true. They're singing, this is my message to you. Tell you don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. sing a sweet, sweet song. Abilities